Hello, welcome in another video. Let's dive straight in. How did I survive meditating 10 hours a day for 10 days? So another fear of mine was, so if you struggle with the digestion issues, then this video is for you because I will be definitely speaking about that. So when I went to this meditation retreat, I was really scared because of my digestion issues. I had some like digestion issues on and off, and I wasn't really sure how am I gonna cope at this place because I knew that I sometimes like to snack. I like to eat something like that time. I like to eat things with the sugar or some processed foods. And I was really scared that when I go there, how am I gonna, feel? And I knew that there was like, you have, I think you have a breakfast, then you have a lunch, and then basically for dinner, I think there is only fruits. And my mind was just jumping in and telling me, oh my God, you will be starving to death, you will be so hungry, and you won't be able to eat your own stuff. So I was really, really scared. That was one of my fears, why not to go. And I will tell you this like now very funny story. Well, actually, maybe at that time was like quite funny too. So when I got there, I started like it's like feeling these symptoms of like that my body was detoxing because the foods that were like there were very nourishing, very like cleansing and very healthy vegetarian meals. And I remember it was maybe a third or fourth, no, I think it was maybe fifth or sixth day where I started feeling that I'm really like cleansing like a lot. There was a stuff like coming out of my body, and I was just like feeling, wow, what's happening with my digestion. And I was really scared because during the day you have these meditation hours where you're supposed to not to leave the hall, only when it's really like absolutely necessary. And then the teacher, assistant teacher, usually follows you out of the hall if you left during this hour and asking you what happened. And I was like feeling a little bit of discomfort of my like like my tummy. And one day when I went to the lunch, I was like feeling, oh my God, I'm so hungry, I'm gonna eat a lot. And this weird thing kicked in where I just like overeaten myself, like where I felt so full and I could like feel that my like tummy was really like weird, and these noises. And you know that feeling when you just like you overdid it with the food. But another thing was that I was just really scared because I knew that I'm going meditating, and I was really scared that what's gonna happen once I get there. So I went to this like to this hour where you're supposed to not to leave that like the hall. And I'm just sitting there and I start feeling this weird gurgly like noises in my stomach. And in that room, it's like so quiet that you can hear a fly. Once actually the fly got in, and you could hear it so loud because your senses are much stronger after a few days of like when your nervous system is calming down. You just hear and feel so much more. And I was sitting there and I just started hearing like these weird gurgly like noises in my stomach. And I was like, wow, what's going on? And right next to you is like on your right side is actually there was no one on my right side luckily, but there was my like one of the girls was next to me on the left side. And I knew that she could like hear everything, and actually it started becoming so noisy that you could hear it like in the whole room, that something's happening in my stomach. And I'm just sitting there starting to meditate, like trying to meditate and being quiet, and these huge noises come out. And I'm like, my mind jumps in and it's like, oh my God, everyone can hear it, this is just terrible, and I just don't know what to do because like it gets into the point where it's so loud, where everyone needs to hear that. And I'm like sitting there holding myself. I'm like, I'm not gonna leave the room. I'm not gonna leave the room, you know. I'm just really like forcing myself to stay there, even though probably to leave the room and have a sip of water and just a quick walk would help me. But I'm just like there and just holding myself. And then what happens next is that I laugh. I, in that moment of like total quietness, I just do and I just like laugh because it's just so funny. It makes me feel like you know, I feel that it's such a like comedy situation, me sitting there, everyone's so serious meditating, and I just laugh for a second. And in that moment I'm like, oh my god, and I'm just like sitting there and trying to breathe it all through. And the assistant teacher comes over, and she's just like, you know, clap my like a shoulder and shows me like, you know, to go out with her. And I just go out with her, and I'm just telling her, and she's like looking at me and she's asking what's going on, and I'm like explaining to her, I'm so sorry, I just like I've been having some digestion issues last few days, and also I ate way too much that day, and like these noises. And she just looks at me very like present, and she says like, and are you like, you know, expecting your period? I'm like, yes, I do. And she's like, well, that's normal, this is just like what happens with your body, that means that the technique is like, you know, helping you. And I'm just there looking at her like nothing happened, you know, like it's just so normal, like you know, in my mind I'm just causing all this big drama and thing. And she looks at her watch and she's like, well, like no, I actually have a watch. She doesn't look at the watch. She asked me, what's the time? And I'm like, oh, we still have like 30 minutes. And she's like, well, let's go inside. And as soon as she gives me that permission that it's okay to leave and it's okay what's happening with my body, I just go back in, and there are no noises whatsoever. And I'm just sitting there and finishing the meditation in the peace, and realizing one really important thing, that I'm like, you know, realizing, why do I need a permission from somebody if I'm actually like struggling with something? Why do I need a permission from someone to listen to my own body? Why am I not like the one who is listening my own body? And that's a very vulnerable, like very important lesson for me to learn, and seeing that I have this tendency of causing myself the suffering and going really like too deep with myself, of like, you know, instead of giving up, or not giving up, or just pausing, like giving myself a pause of like, you know, when you don't feel it, just like pause for a second, and then you just can continue. It doesn't mean that you are giving up. It's just that you just go a little bit like, you know, back, and then you just go like forward again, like, you know, and moving forward and growing. So what I want to say with this video is, do you also, you know, pushing yourself way too hard? Do you push yourself too hard to the limits where it feels really, really uncomfortable, and you are just like thinking, I need to push through? Because I definitely was that person. I did push through so many times, but for a really very big price, which cost me my health, which cost me my like physical health, my emotional and mental health at the time. So do you push yourself way too much, or do you just take a small step, and sometimes you just go forward, and then you just go a little bit back, and then you just go a little bit more forward, and just moving, you know, towards your goals or dreams or whatever? Or do you just like, you know, are a go-getter, you know, and you just go no matter what is happening, and then you just end up depleted? And so I really want you to reflect on these questions and just sit with them, and think about it, that how can you apply this in your life, in your day-to-day life? Is there something where you push yourself? For example, you always push yourself like to reach out to somebody you don't want to reach out to, because you just feel that you have to please them, you have to like be there, but your body is already telling you that no, I don't want to do this, I don't want to like do this thing. So let me know down below in the comments if you want me to share more stories from this meditation retreat, because I definitely have more of them. Comment down below a fear, because there are some other like fears and I had while like going there. And if you like this video, give it a like. If you like it very much, give it a subscribe. Also, if you want support and you want to work with me one-to-one, don't be scared to reach out to me. I will see you in another video.